Alright guys, I'm going to go over what switchbacks are and pretty much how they work and how you're supposed to wire them up. The typical question I get is, are switchbacks plug and play? As a matter of fact, switchbacks are actually quite the opposite of plug and play. Each switchback set of mirrors I have has quite a bit of wiring involved, so it's definitely not for the beginning wirer. If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to take you a while to figure it out, and probably watching a series of YouTube videos to figure it out, because that's how I had to do it when I first figured it out. But switchbacks, what they are is they are lights that will shine white as a parking light or a running light, whatever you want to call it, and then they switch to amber when your turn signal is activated or your hazard lights are activated. After they switch to amber, when you turn the turn signals off, they switch back to white, hence the name switchbacks. Each set of switchback mirrors that I build has a set of 6 separate wires. First off, you have the connector plug for the power wire for your mirrors. Power, heat, all that stuff will come applied to this wire here. On some trucks, the turn signal on the glass is actually built into this plug, so it will wire up with that as well. The second set of wires is the power for the switchbacks. So we've got power for the switchbacks. We have a white wire, which controls the white. Typically, you wire this up into your parking light or your marker lights or whatever. That way you can have the white running lights come up. Red is wired up for your turn signal. Typically, people wire them up, to their front corner lights, their front marker lights. The easiest way I found to do it is to actually run the wires under your dash. You have a central control box that is actually wired up for all the wiring under your dash, so you can find all these wires under there. And then of course you have a black wire, which is for your ground. If you don't connect that, then you have no power at all. So you've got one set for one switchback, so you've got one set for the top strip. Then you've got a separate set here for the bottom strip, hence your 6 wires. Each strip has 3 different wires, which will have to be wired up to either the left turn signal or the right turn signal, depending on what mirror. This mirror is actually for the passenger side, I believe. It's for the passenger side, and you'll have to wire all those up to your passenger side parking lamp or your passenger side turn signal. Then you ground it, and then there you go. You've got your switchbacks wired up. So these aren't cheap. They aren't easy to wire up. They're definitely not plug and play. That's my biggest question that I get: are these mirrors plug and play? If you buy them without switchbacks, sure, for the most part they can be plug and play for a newer model truck. On the older model trucks, that might not be the case. On my 88 to 98 model, that's not the case. You have to do a lot of extensive wiring on that as well. But if you're doing a custom switchback build, they are wired up. What I do is build the mirrors, I put the switchbacks in, I get everything wired up, ready to roll. I'll ship them out to you. Once they are out of my hands, guys, they are no longer, my issue, my concern. I hate to say it like that, but I've had a problem come up with a past build that the customer actually tried to make it my issue that his installer broke a lens, pulled out a wire. Now, guys, I solder these wires up pretty massively. I also apply heat shrink tubing and electrical tape to them. So in order for those wires to come apart, you're going to have to be tugging on them pretty hard. These leads aren't meant to be wired straight to your wiring on your truck. You're going to have to attach some more wire. Like I said, however you decide to do that, that's out of my hands. I could provide advice on how to wire them up, hence this video. But other than that, unless the truck is right in front of me, guys, I cannot go any further. The customer that I was talking about, I'm not going to mention any names, but he said that I had a lack of customer service, which I was messaging him and answering every single question he had. It is not my fault that his installer messed it up. I offered to replace the lens for him. If he were to pay for the lens and ship me the lights, I would be more than happy to replace the lens and put a new lens on the lights. But guys, once it's at your doorstep and once you open that box, they are all yours. So just please remember that. And I try to take care of my customers as much as possible, but it gets too far out of hand with that, and there's just so much that I could do. It's the same as if you order something off of Amazon, it arrives, you use it for a second, and it breaks. It is not the seller's fault. So the same concept applies to getting custom parts and things like that. So please be aware of that. And like I said, try to help you out as much as possible. But there's only so much that I could do. Anyhow, guys, hopefully that helped kind of explain switchbacks and everything. Switchback builds typically start at $480 for a basic build. Basic meaning, power glass, black caps, smoke lens, switchback lights. That's basic. Sometimes they can run over $500 depending on what year of truck they are. Most of the time they're going to be $480 shipped to your doorstep. Anything including paint, uppers and lowers on the caps, or the whole mirror, that's obviously going to jump the price way up there. Paint definitely does that, so don't be sticker shocked when I come back with a quote that's actually kind of a high price. So anyhow, guys, hopefully that explained everything. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for being a customer, and hope that helps out, and you guys have a good day. We'll see you.